Now, China's box office revenue grew slowly last year, only 3.7% compared to the previous year. That was 48%, yeah, really a huge difference. Why has the growth declined so much so rapidly during that year? And what do you think of the timing of this new law coming into effect at this moment?
Well, maybe I should say congratulations to the debut of China's first film law, soon governing the world's biggest market soon to be. Many speculate the slowdown of the market contributed to maybe partially the crackdown of the box office fraud. But I think everything has a cycle. China has been experiencing almost a decade of cinema growth. And here comes a time, maybe the market is more maturing. I think the China film market has been experiencing a period of bubbles, in my view. And now is probably a time for a reality check. So the law come into being is quite timely.
I'm sure you had a quick look as an industry insider or somebody who is practicing film. You must have read a little bit about the law. What stood out in your mind? What caught your attention the most?
Well, I was doing a very religious item by item reality check. What really strikes me is emphasis on the content has to be the socialist core. And I'm wondering, how does Hollywood cope with this?
Yeah.
And me as an international filmmaker, I also need to reevaluate what might be my content. I guess the content production is the core of a film, right?
Sure.
Without that, you won't have a market. So that's very challenging, actually.
Well, the core socialist values, as you have pointed out, officially comprise a set of moral principles summarized by central authorities as prosperity, democracy, civility, harmony, freedom, equality, justice, the rule of law, patriotism, dedication, integrity, and friendship. Really a lot of concepts together, difficult to remember, but basically that's pretty much summed up, I think, in the values of many different countries, right? I mean, in different societies, people would value basically the same thing.
But there's a vital difference between socialism and capitalism.
Yes.
And right now, China proclaimed loud and clear in black and white what the market is allowing. That is, any work that's differ ideologically from socialism or social core will not be welcomed. And this is something that Hollywood really need to take into its consideration.
Do you think it is good for the Chinese film creators to have this guideline? Because some people would say, look, they're trying to put a regulation on your creativity. They're trying to stymie the creativity.
I think it's quite limiting and it's restricting. I do not think it's good, but I understand the rationale of China. China has been a country, has been founding this country on socialism and communism. Its very core is to put the collective interest beyond the individual or above the individual, which is the very essence. The individual freedom is the core of capitalism. That is actually the essence of American dream. If we think about why Hollywood films is so popular in China, it's actually a sign of Chinese audience wanting to share more of American dream, although China or Chinese government is promoting the China dream. So I think it is a virtual war between China dream and American dream. Truthfully, I would like to have a universal dream.
So not just the American dream and not just a personal hero, one single hero saving the world. And looking from China's perspective, I think it is also natural that while we're in a disadvantaged situation in the cultural landscape, let's say, the Chinese film industry and the Chinese core values might need a little bit protection and stipulation, maybe.
I totally understand. I think China having 5,000 or 6,000 years of rich history, someone, especially filmmakers, international or domestic, need to tap into the vast resources and tell a great story with traditional core, with Chinese core, but with universal appeal. But the value, the individual value that embedded in this film is it brings out a political point of view. That is where the challenge comes into.
Yeah, how do you think Hollywood can cope with this law?
I want to say to Hollywood, please bear no illusion that China would welcome a film with different ideology. Hollywood has been bending over backwards to please China in the past decade, and they have been doing a great job. Look, they have 34 films coming from United States mostly, and last year they even have 38 films come into. As you know, the quota system is going to end by the end of this year. Whether it's going to be lifted or it's going to be renewed is waiting to be seen. But Hollywood should really reevaluate the strategy, how to deal with China. And I think they're making great progress. Seen through the recent film, they have more mixed casting. We have storyline to be more mature in terms of main story content. So I'm hopeful for Hollywood.
Mm-hmm. And they really have to take a greater look at what China is looking for and producing contents that are catering to the Chinese appetite, maybe, or?
Right. The bottom line for Chinese film industry to have a law is to grow China market, not the U.S. market. Hollywood is just a sidebar. Hollywood want to access the biggest world market, but in fact, Chinese film takes more than 55% of screen time. Hollywood film or any foreign film is only like not even 1/3. You see? So it's not Hollywood that China is going to please. It is China's market they're going to grow. And China is on its way to enlarge its soft power or strengthen its soft power overseas. That's another challenge China is trying to embrace.
Another thing that the law highlights is that it wants filmmakers to be excellent in both moral integrity and film art, meaning you have to have greater ethical standards maybe, because in the past few years there have been some arrests of filmmakers taking drugs or involved in prostitution. How do you look at that kind of regulation?
I think that's not to mix two different things. One is someone involved in film industry taking drugs that they have personal morality problem. Another one is a creative issue. If they're creating a script that's probably step onto the toe of certain government officials, that is a landmine that filmmaker that's probably will be stepping into. And I personally sometimes would like to create works with great social criticism. I think the function of art is to create a serious observation of society, criticism. That's not welcomed. That is, the essence of art.
With this new
have a
law,
conflict here.
with this new law, are you seeing progress of China further opening up?
Definitely. That's why it's worth celebrating. I open our dialogue with congratulating China. This law has been in the works for the past 6 years. It has been a dream for several generations. It's a great milestone for China film industry to move forward, to get themselves into the global scene. But it is China's interest that China is protecting. Hollywood need to work even finer, fine-tuning its strategy with China.
Mm-hmm. If you would give one suggestion to the Chinese film industry, what would you say finally?
Be more open-minded.
You mean the regulator or the creators?
Media regulators and filmmakers be more courageous, break the boundary, test the water. Film regulators, be open-minded, be generous, be brave. China will grow even better if you're open to criticism.
I think that is the general trend, although we want to take it step by step in a prudent manner, maybe.
Well, let's hope so. Well, China was open itself, quite a while ago, but it closed down. So this socialism ideology, I think continue to be its main ideology. I'm not sure when it will change into a more open one.